this simply means that the bigger risk that we ever encounter was in fact not inside of BSB, but was because of the market. The next year we will probably open in Russia, we will open in IT and in Spain, because our target is to be present everywhere in Europe inside of wealth managers, organization or insurers. We started with 3 associates. We will finish this year with 320 people, and we think that at the end of next year we will be around 500. To give an example, our competitors in the US are around 1,000 people. So if we want to be a successful company outside of Europe, we have to have a similar size, in fact. I talked about strategy. I will not explain all our strategy. 20 minutes is not enough, surely. But what is the difference for us, for BSB, in front of their competitors? In fact, I think that the main softwares are developed by amateurs. The professionalism of IT people is not so high as industry, as beverage, as food organization, because the company is created by a professor, by researchers, with some friends to help him to develop the system. But there are few quality assurance inside of the software. There are few industrial approach, and that's why we try to do today to make the difference with the competition. That's why we did the initial public offering on Alta Next. It's to be able to address the market through another business model than our competitors. And we are really the only one company in Europe offering today a pure industrial approach to our customers. And this is the main point that I have to address as CIO of the company since 1 year. Our target is to put all both Jewels products at European level in the top 5, and for 2012. And I think we are on the good way to do that. And also because our customers are larger and larger. Now we receive requests for proposal for BNP, for example, but we have to serve BNP everywhere in Europe to answer to the request for proposal. And this means that the customers ask us to be bigger than in the past, because they need a critical size to be sure that the company will remain on the market within 10 years, something like that. So what are our jewels? It's Soliam. Soliam, it's a solution intégrée for asset management. The target is Suez. GDF Suez is our bigger customer for the holdings type of customers. It's AXA, it's Fortis, Ageas, sorry, the new name, has insurer. There we address the management, in fact, of the financial assets of the company. And the third type of customers is Carmignac, is France, it's the private banking, in fact, the wealth manager. It's a product that is on the market since 10 years, and we have today around 80 different customers. New one is Solive. Solive is in fact an ERP for life insurance companies. So if you have Solive, you need nothing else to drive the company, to distribute your product, to have the internet site, to manage the claims at the end of the lives of your customers and so on. These two jewels 5 years ago were around 25% of our activity. Today it's a bit more than 60. So it's really the strategy of the company to go to that direction. Some customers, I will surely not present everyone. In terms of Soliams, we sign a new contract every month. It's a successful product today on the market, surely. Solive is newer on the market, but we signed, since 1 year, we signed one new customer every 2 months. So it's really, I think that our competitors sign about 3 or 4 new contracts every year. We intend this year to sign 12 contracts on Soliam and 6 or 7 on Solive. So it's for us, it's a proof that our strategy is successful. Which are the competitors? In fact, the market is characterized by many and many little competitors with a national strategy. But my thought is that within the 5 or 10 next year, the local actors will disappear, simply. There will be a consolidation. For example, in asset management, when we started Soliam, in Belgium, there were about 10 editors. Today, it remained BSB, and it remained Orpheval in Louvain-la-Neuve. And it's the same at European level. Today, there are around 300 or 400 competitors. I think that within 5 years, there will remain 50. And so our strategy is simply to be in the latest companies, 5 latest and 5 bigger on the market. And some other editors, which are on red there, they are the competition for the Solive, so for the life insurance, and in red you have the competition from, sorry, it's red competition for Solive and green competition for Soliam. There are really few editors that have a pan-European strategy like PSB have as a pan-European strategy. The level of investment is doubling every 3 years. It's a part of our industrial strategy. At the beginning of this year, we had 80 people to develop the software. In September, we are 120, and in March, we will be around 160. Okay, and this is investment from for BSB, not to deliver a specific solution to the customers, but really to invest on the product to be able to run, in fact, quicker than the competition, and to be able to address all the market. Success factors, I think strategy, choice, and focus. Because we are dedicated only now on 2 products, all the employees, all the team are working together in the same direction, and I think it's one of the success factors. Second one, if initial public offering. Not because we receive money, not because we have no more financial means, but our customers are in the financial market. And so 10 years ago, when I arrive to a new prospective customer, I have to explain why BSB should remain 10 years after and will still exist 10 years after. Today, it's a question that I never received anymore. Because I am quoted, because I have a notoriety in French, and so this is a good opportunity. And second thing that's quite important, it's on the capacity to hire new employees, to hire new people. It's quite more easy today, and we have a really low level of turnover because our young employees are convinced that the strategy to help a company to be one of the leaders in Europe is really for them a good career. So I think that's quite important. As I said, we have a different business model because we try to apply an industrial business model for the IT, and there are few companies doing that in Europe. We used to use around, last year we used 40% of our revenues as investment in the product. Normally in our field of activity, the more often you find 20 or something like that or in research and development. But because we want to run quicker than the competition, we invest last year 40% of our revenues. And this means 40% of the revenues of BSB, but this means 2/3 of the revenues of BSB in the software sector. So it's a really huge investment, and okay, it will not remain like that during years because we have to go slower in the future. But at present time, we try to go quicker than the systems. The more troubles, except with sculpting and Fortis some years ago, is to decide your employees and your colleagues to plan activity. So to say, okay, this I stop that, and I concentrate the company It was really for us quite difficult because IT guys are sometimes artists, and if you say artist, you are not no more a painter, but no, you are a plumber. It's quite different.